All right, it's 105.1 The Bounce, Lisha B, and this interview is a family affair. So let me give some praise, some accolades. This man, the man, the myth, the legend himself, from the humble streets of New York, the lion who's ready to roar for us all in the hip-hop game, none other than Niko, Brim.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank
How
you,
you
sis.
feeling,
I'm feeling
Brim?
amazing. I'm feeling amazing. It's great to see you again.
It's good to see you, too. So let's just kick this off with why it's a family affair.
100%.
So we met, what was it, like 2015? Yeah, 2015. We was in the humble streets of college.
Yup.
And we both decided, nope.
Yup. Exactly.
And you were explaining it earlier. So like, why did you decide that at that moment college wasn't what you wanted to do?
I mean, I felt like in college, I was already recording music. I was already, I was on Dat Piff, SoundCloud. I already had a clear understanding of what I wanted to do. So when I went to college, I was like, yo, I want to do music. I want to be a music and sound recording major.
Yep.
Bro, the whole first year, you don't even get in the studio.
Exactly.
So I was like, yo, I'm already recording myself. I'm making my beats. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of engineering my music.
Right.
And, shout out my boys, David and Marv and Dre and all of them. They were over at West Street. And, we made a studio over there.
Oh.
And so, before you know it, like, I was just cutting class, but I was in the studio, you know? So, I just said, man, am I going to be out here or am I going to go back to New York and pursue my passion full time? So I had to get up out of there.
And I mean, we're not saying don't go to college if you don't want, if you need to, you know? But I think that it's a really good lesson, especially for other artists too, that sometimes the plan that you may have thought was the plan is not. And especially if you're
100%.
already doing it, what's the need to go for that specific education? I feel like you had already built that aspect. There were other aspects of your artistry that you needed to learn
100%.
besides sitting in a class
You
room.
get what I'm saying? Like to sit in a classroom and have somebody explain to me Pro Tools, explain to me Logic. I'm
When you already did it.
Yeah, I'm already working these things. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And so I feel like if anyone's that's listening to this right now and if you have the opportunity to go to college or to just pursue what you're doing, I would say try it.
Yes, right.
Give yourself the opportunity, and if you're not feeling it, make that decision early. Make the decision early and go out there and get the experiential learning that you know that you need.
Exactly. So we got that out of the way, but now we got to get into really what we are here for. So can you explain to people a little taste of who you are for the people who haven't been tapped into who Niko Brim is?
Yeah. All right. So Niko Brim is a passionate artist, that is also a community advocate. I live and breathe hip hop. I feel like I am hip hop. That essence runs through me, and my music there's a lot of determination. There's a lot of introspection. There's love in my music. Every song is a labor of love from me. And I just feel like I am a generational talent that doesn't just speak for myself. I speak for those streets of New York, and I'm speaking for all of us out here that are figuring out our way,
Right.
For sure.
So what was the moment in your life? Take me back to young Niko, because I know that it was something that you've wanted to do for years.
Yeah, for sure.
So what was that moment that you were like, this is what I want to do, there's no plan B, there's no plan C, this is it?
Well, it's crazy because when I was growing up, I wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to be a professional drummer. Yeah, like I wanted to be on hire for tours.
Okay.
So like, my biggest dream back then was like, 50 Cent is gonna have, his reunion tour when I'm grown.
Right.
And I'm gonna be the drummer for, this tour. So
what changed from drummer to now being the face of it all?
Yeah, I think it was honestly when I was in high school, like, and it's crazy. This happened to me in high school and in college, bro. Like the first day I got to my high school, I was in a rap battle during lunch, and when we had the rap battle, bro, it was like 200-300 people around us battling. Yeah, like I remember one of the teachers ran up to the front. I thought we was gonna get in trouble, but he just wanted a better view of the battle.
Not teach, wanted to figure out what was going on.
Yo, for sure. And shout out my brother Stefan, and my brother to this day. That's who I was battling, and I think from there, like when I was in high school, we would be walking to parties, leaving parties. I could always just freestyle off the top. Like you could point things out in the room.
Right.
I would just get to going. And I remember my boys would just put me to the side. One of my homies in particular, Mikey, used to just be like, yo, bro, you gotta like really take this serious. Like you have a gift. Like start recording, bro. And I remember when I was like 17, I was like a junior in high school, and I was working as a lifeguard, and I used to save all my money. So I just had all this money in the tuck. I got an interface, I got a mic, and I was on YouTube just learning how to man Logic.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I dropped my first song on SoundCloud, and I played it for my friends, and they were hype. Like, yo, we were hype, and that shit, pardon me, that joint sucked. Yo, that record sucked, bro. But we were so hyped that somebody had the balls to record and like put a song out, you know? And I think that was the moment that like I knew like, yo, I'm not doing nothing else. Like, but before then I was kind of like timid with it, you know, like to jump in the forefront. Like I have a big personality, but that's when you get to know me. Like I can kind of be to myself, you know? So, but once we flipped that switch, bro, it was no looking back.
I love it. And I've always wondered this. With you being from New York and New York being the birthplace of hip hop, have you ever felt like any sense of like timidness or, you know, because hip hop is literally life in New York, have you ever felt like that was a hindrance, or do you take that as like that is a fuel to your fire? Yo,
you know, it's a both, right?
Okay.
Like it has that range because it's like in the same breath, it is the fuel to the fire. But then it's also like, damn, like look at how much has been done. You know what I'm saying? Like so many legendary artists that have impacted the entire world, you know, came from this area, you know, and people think about New York City being so big, but when you look at it from like a square mile perspective, it's really not. You know what I mean? Like it's a small area. And I felt like coming up in New York as an artist and like not really going anywhere else, I really had to develop thick skin because, you know, like when you think about our radio and all these people, they don't really show love to the new generation of New York and what's going on, you know, and we there was like huge shoes to fill in that way. Right. And when I started feeling like I was dealing with the pressure of looking to fill those shoes, that's when I had to switch it over to like, well, I come from here for a reason. I get to represent here for a reason, you know, and once I started going with that mindset, like it just kind of gave me the extra fuel to be inspired. Like I go to other places, I'm like, yo, they're not even from where I'm from. And it's no disrespect to anywhere else, but like, you know, hip hop culture in New York, like you said, it's a way of life. It's so much bigger than just the bars. It's the dancing, it's the clothes, it's how you interact with your people, it's the morals and ethics that we live by. You know what I'm saying? And I know that runs through me, so I started using that as like my it's like my superpower now. You feel me?
I love that. I've always wondered that, so I had to make sure that I tapped in. And you already spoke about this. Your music that I've obviously am a fan of, like I'm a little biased, but you blend storytelling with these really raw lyrics, and you've gotten inspos. Like I know your influences, Nas, K. Dot, Bob Marley. Like you really tap into those people. So how are you able to balance being very vulnerable and very intentional in your music, but also still making sure that it's legible and understanding for everyone who may not be in the same exact seat as you? Yo,
that's so funny that you say that, because and shout out my brother Mego, who's here with us today. But like I'll come to him sometimes, I'll be like, yo, bro, like I didn't bar up enough. You know, like I'm like, there's not enough bars in this song, but then we'll release it and that's the song that touches the most people. You know what I'm saying? Or like I'll have a record where, you know, I'm like, yo, I'm barring up, but like you can't relate to what I'm talking about. And over the years, I had to learn to allow myself to express what I feel in the moment and trust that I'm gonna have one of those records that come by. Like I used to always try to approach the cook up like it has to be the perfect balance each time. Right. But I've learned that like, yo, if I just show up to the plate to create every day, that eventually we can look back on a couple of these songs and be like, oh, this is the one where we walk the middle ground of being super intentional with what we're saying and also being super intentional with how we're saying it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because I do have those lyrical, miracle, spiritual songs, you know, and I also have the songs that just feel like poems. Right. You know, and I just feel like now I've just learned to allow the songs to be what they are, and we just pick the best ones out of the litter.
And what song do you feel as though did that, where you were like overthinking it, but then when it came out, it was like, sheesh. Well, I guess I shouldn't have thought about it too much.
Yo, a song that was like that, I would say, Southside Sundays. Southside Sundays was a record that like, so Hughes is a beautiful body of work.
Yes.
And at that time I was actually working on what I consider my debut album. And we had just some internal conversations as a team, and we didn't want to put what said debut album was out right away. We wanted to kind of gear people up for what I'm gonna drop, which I'm still gonna drop. It's on the way.
I was waiting.
Yeah, it's on the way. And Southside Sundays didn't make the cut for the debut album. Word.
Okay.
So it's not on the album. I'm like, man, but maybe this would be a good time to give this record out to people, and the reception that I got from that is it made me emotional. Like the amount of people who even related to the things that I was talking about, and you know what I'm saying? Like for people to get a snapshot into my world, but then for them to hit me up and bring me into their world, you know, I was like, wow, look at the power of the music, and this was a record that I wasn't even sure was up to par, and it's easily one of my biggest records where I have no features on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that song resonates around the world. When I was on tour with Rhapsody, we were in Berlin, we were in Amsterdam, we were in Geneva, we were in Paris, and that song stole the show every single night. You know what I mean? So that was like a moment where I was like, man, like you can't overthink this. Like you just gotta go for it. You feel me?
And you just name dropped people like that is some chill stuff right there. Rhapsody?
Yeah,
man. I like proud of you.
Thank you.
Because the tracks and just the art of what you guys have been able to make together has been beautiful. So how does it feel to have people like Rap and then to have a song with Wayne? Like how does it feel to have like big legends literally co-signing you, saying exactly like what you've always thought in your head, like you are somebody who deserves to have space here, but for them to also be like, you deserve it, and we're gonna give you a platform to do it. How does that feel?
Yo, honestly, Rap is one of the most important affirmations that I've gotten. You know what I mean? Her affirming me really went a long way. Like it went back to 2018. I had met Rap in New York. She had a show, and I got there and I rapped for her. And she was like, yo, you're dope. She took my number down, and that was the cornerstone of what would be this relationship. Like she's like my big sister for real, like it's way deeper than music. You know what I'm saying? And to have somebody like that co-sign what I have going on, it's like I still try to find the words for it, but like affirming is definitely one of them. Like thankful, a lot of gratitude. Because she came even at a time where I was trying to figure out where the next steps were. Right. And she just took me under the wing and like just exposed me to so much on how this game works for an artist who wants to be vulnerable, for an artist who wants to be real, and for an artist who also wants to be successful.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
What better person?
You get what I'm saying? What better person? Like I always say that, like, the Rap is one of those artists where she is, the way that she carries herself, her respect ratio is insane. For every person that knows Rap, they respect her. You get what I'm saying? And that's the type of ratio I want to have as an artist. Like when people hear my name, like it comes with a level of respect. Right. And when she wanted me on her album, bro, I'm too long-winded because I got the whole,
talk, please.
Yo, bro, so boom, right? She's like, yo, I come down to North Carolina. We're working on my album that I'm telling you about, that we are dropping this year.
Beautiful. I know that's right.
Yes, you feel me? So we're working, and then she's like, yo, I'm about to go work on Please Don't Cry. I'm about to go over to Texas. I'm gonna see if you can come. I'm like, all right, cool. She's like, yo, before we go, if you come to Texas, there's this record that I want you to work on that I hear you on. I'm like, all right, bet. Bro, it's just me and her in the room, and she's playing a record. And at this time, Raw, she was rapping first. Okay. Right? So this version of Raw, she's rapping. I'm like, this is dope. Then I hear the lighter flick, and I'm like, nah, hold on. Wayne starts rapping. I'm like, yo, yo, nah, no way. You want me on this song? Like,
wow.
You want me on this song? And then after Wayne, it was like a beat switch up. Not the beat that I'm on the album, but like a beat that it was different, right? And this is like this open space. Like, think about like when Kendrick was on Buried Alive.
Got you.
Like, it was like my own moment within the record. So I'm like, yo, she's like, yo, but I gotta see if you could go to Texas with me to work on this because flights are wild expensive, da da da. I'm like, cool. Yo, bro, she busts into my room at like 6 in the morning, like, wake up, bro, we out. I said, what? Yo, but yeah, I already have my bag packed just in case we could go. So I go out to Texas with her. Shout out Black Odyssey. He was doing a lot of executive like production and like, you know, like A&R and stuff on the album. And I was over there and I was blessed to be in those sessions with them. And we ended up working on his album too.
Wow.
And so when I was there, I literally stepped out of the room. I was in the common room. I probably wrote my verse in like 30 minutes. And then I came back and I was like, yo, I got it. And she heard it and she was like, let's go. She was hype. And then I laid it down, and you know, as she was continued to build the story of what the album was, it made the most sense for me to have my own interlude. And she was like, I'm gonna name it after you. And she was like, and I'm gonna let you go first so people can hear you before we get into me and Wayne. And then she kept me on the hook with her and Wayne, bro. So it was just like, it was like the best of both worlds. And I just remember, like, I couldn't believe it. I remember I FaceTimed my boy Coolio after I wrote the verse, and it was one of those, yeah, let's go. Like, you know, like, let's go. And yeah, you know, when it finally came out, it was a life-changing for real.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw your name next to it, I was like, oh no, this is about to go stupid.
Yo,
he ain't never gonna answer my phone call. No. But I'm super proud of you. Like, even when we were rapping with her at Dreamville Fest, which we're gonna talk about, I had to not only praise her for what she is as an entity, but what she has done for you. Because again, you're my brother.
Yes.
Like, I love what you are doing, and I love that people are finally seeing what I've seen. And I know there's plenty of other people who've saw it before me. So I had to also like share the love to her, being like, thank you for like seeing what we've all seen.
Yes.
So like, I'm super proud of that whole situation happening. And also that's a testament to you being always ready and proving staying ready is truly the moment.
Yeah, stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. Cause imagine if I was like overslept, I ain't had my stuff together. Like, you know, like it was one of those things where I just knew like, yo, this could be a moment. So let me be serious about it. Even at Dreamville, like, you know, I take all this really serious. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get into rapping for the lifestyle. I grew up in hip hop. So like the lifestyle doesn't impress me. Like, I'm here for the work.
Exactly.
You know, and rap is the same way. She's here for the work. And me and her really get along with that aspect, you know, like up early. Well, I'm not even gonna lie, she be up a little bit earlier than me most days. But you know, she sees the hunger in me, you know, and I appreciate her for being there.
I love that. I mean, you kind of talked about Hughes already, but Hughes was a huge like jumping point for your career. I mean, 1 million streams.
Oh yeah.
Album equivalent.
Yeah.
Please put some respect on your name.
Yes, thank you. 100%. Shout out Even. Yes, we even Biz. We decided that we were going to sell the body of work, you know, because we believed in it, you know, and when we decided to do that, the reception and the support that we had was like outrageous. Like, the amount of money that we made off of doing that, we would have needed 1 million+ streams to do.
Right.
And that was just like really eye-opening for me, because I didn't even understand the level of support that I had at that time. Honestly.
Until then?
Yeah, until then it was like I didn't see it, you know, like
so
the
this
way
was
that
more
other
tangible.
people see. Yeah, I was like, yo, this is a tangible piece of evidence to let you know who's out there in the world and how they're supporting. Right. And then, you know, Hughes just opened up so many doors. Shout out to everybody that was a part of making that album, you know, because it was major. BET gave us a lot of coverage and love. Yeah. You know, Essence covered us and showed us a lot of love on this project. You know, blogs were, you know, putting it in their top 20 albums of the year. Yes. And it just was like a snowball of like this level of like respect for the art that I always wanted, honestly, you know? Right. And for this to be the first one. And what's so crazy was this is what we put out. Like, now we're just gonna put this out just to hold people over. Like that was our internal conversation as a team. Like he Mega was here, a part of it. Like we were like, yo, let's just do this, and we all were like, yo, wow, they love this, man, and we loved making it, you know.
Right.
So
you can feel that you guys were just excited to make music.
100%.
And I think that is something that I've always loved for any artist, is that you can feel it.
Yeah, 100%.
If you don't feel it, you can't relate to it.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like, 1 million streams, there you go. People felt it. So,
100%.
You already talked about what you've done with that project, but going from your first project to, what is now hopefully debut album coming soon. What have you learned? What has not only changed for you, but what has stayed the same for you?
I think like what has changed is my level of understanding with myself. I think like early on, I was really hell-bent on wanting to prove that I belonged, right? And with this space of proving, people can feel that, you know? And I think that over the years, I've learned to kind of just let that go and just let the art speak for itself and just letting it be what it is, holding less judgment on myself and what I create.
Right.
And I think what's really remained the same is like my passion and my love, the hunger for it, like I feel more hungry now than I did back then.
Wow.
Yeah, for real. Like, and it's crazy because back then, I thought that I was just young and naive, like the world was, like just mine for the taking. And like now, like I really feel like the world is mine for the taking.
That's right.
And that level of hunger just, it always stayed, consistent for me.
I love that. And then, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but it would be remiss of me to not talk about your activism. It would be remiss of me, especially since you were able to work with my soror, Opal Lee.
Oh, come on. Let's talk about Miss Opal Lee. God
that is
bless her.
Amazing. 1, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
2, I know how heavily involved you are in making sure that your community is well spoken for and well taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is it so important for you as an artist to keep that as a forefront? Because a lot of artists stay away from speaking up and being vocal about what's happening in the world. Yeah. So why was it so important for you to not only continue that, but make such a legacy with this Juneteenth moment with Opal?
Yo, you want to know for real, like, before I even start with myself, I really have to give credit to my father and I have to give credit to my grandmothers. They really instilled in me the community aspect of life and knowing that you belong to a community and this community raised you. And when you get to a point where you can put your hand down, you got to lift people up, you know? And so, my father, like when I was young, he used to take me to soup kitchens and he would just have me feed people, and he would always talk about food scarcity and like, these food deserts. And, he was the first person to bring those terms into my world.
Go Dad.
And so shout out to my pops. And then I remember in high school, I had a requirement to do like community service. And I was going to the soup kitchen and one of my homeboys was in there with his family. And I didn't know that, my bro didn't have enough meals or, couldn't afford to eat consistently at his house. And I remember he was trying to keep his head down and he didn't want me to see. And like in that moment, like I connected with him like, yo, my brother, like this stays between us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I love and respect you the same. You know what I mean? And when that happened, like it like ignited the fire in me. Like, okay, like this is happening way more than I may realize,
Right.
And so then it turned into, me just wanting to be an advocate. And with Miss Opal Lee, they were looking for somebody young to help carry the torch of what Juneteenth is and what it means.
Exactly.
And when she connected with me, she loved my spirit as I do hers, like we just connected. Like, and then she wanted to march in DC.
Yep.
With the 1 million+ signatures that I was able to support her in getting. And we went down to DC and we did a march all the way up to the buildings to, where the senators and everybody's at, And I did that walk with her, and we got up there and we wanted to represent, like our people. Cause I feel like I do that in hip hop. You know, like when I talk about New York, like I'm representing not just Mount Vernon. I represent all of New York State. Like I don't just include the city. I don't just include upstate. I speak for all of us, you know. And even in that moment, I was like, yo, I'm speaking for people that are African American. You know what I mean? And when I was just able to be a part of it, you know, the only thing I could say is I'm thankful for Miss Opal. She was doing it 70 years prior than I was, you know, before I was even alive.
Right.
So for that, you know, I'm just humbled to be a small part of a much bigger, you know, fight that's been going on. And then when we seen that Delaware was one of the first places to acknowledge it as a national holiday, and then it just spread like wildfire. So like, man, like, you know, I look at that and it really is amazing, you know, like it's crazy. Sometimes I trip out, like I'll speak to my dad. I'm like, yo, like I'm really a part of making Juneteenth a national holiday. And, you know, man, like, again, we just got to give all credit to Miss Opal for that, you know.
I love Miss Opal. Again, that's my soror. So when
that's crazy.
When I learned what you were doing throughout those years, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yo, you know, me and her, we designed a Juneteenth sneaker together, and it was in the Sotheby's auction.
Yes.
Yeah. So yo, it was crazy. Like, yo, this lady is at the time like 95, 94, and we're bouncing sneaker ideas back and forth with each other. I
didn't know that, like, she was also very heavily involved in that process too.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I was telling her, like, I'm not running nothing unless it's ran by you.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got real respect for her, and you know, shout out again. Like I know I keep saying shout out Miss Opal, but if y'all are tuned in, please look into this woman because you know she is a living, breathing testament to our people and what they represent.
Of course, and I feel like it's sad that many people don't know who she is and how powerful she is and how much we have because of her.
Yo, for sure. Like, and even down to what we do in my community now, like we did our second annual Thanksgiving event of, you know, we do a community style Thanksgiving where you can come in and sit down. Right. Because it's more than just feeding people, right? Like there's a humanity aspect when you get to sit down across from somebody and have a conversation like break how we having break bread with somebody, you know? So we did that. We had our Christmas, you know, toy giveaway for the families that want to make sure that the Christmas is special for their loved ones and their young ones. You know, we do our clothes drives, we do coat drives, back to school supplies. Wow. So it's like, you know, I do my best to stay involved with Mount Vernon. Like coming up in Mount Vernon, we didn't really have the people that made it out of Mount Vernon didn't really come back and pour into it, you know, and seeing that was like something for me, like it kind of bothered me. And I was like, I know when I'm coming up through the way, I don't have to wait till I'm a millionaire to give back. Like we can do it on the way. So
say that again for the people in the back.
Yo, you do not have to wait to be a millionaire. You could do it on the way.
I know that's right. Again, I'm just gonna keep saying I'm proud of you because like your soul, your heart, you can feel it in your music. You can feel it right now, and I think that's why the universe and God has been able to. This trajectory for you has been so great because you're so pure at heart. You do everything with your heart and mind. Yeah. So I commend you a million times,
my sister.
So let's play a little game.
Oh, come on, let's do it.
It's called Brim or Cap.
Ooh. Yo, you went crazy.
Thank you.
Brim or Cap?
So, you know, truth or dare, truth or false. That's what it is. True is Brim always, because you know. Yeah. And then Cap is Cap, you know. And I took a little things from your life to see whether you know it's Brim or Cap.
Okay,
so
let's get to it.
So you already talked about it, so I guess it's a cop out. But you once designed a sneaker for Sotheby's first hip hop auction. Was that Brim or Cap?
Brim. Brim.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out Miss Opal. You know, we were able to come together and it was part of the first hip hop Sotheby's auction, man. That's legendary.
Stamped in it for your whole legacy. That is a part of it. Come on. How crazy is that?
Yeah, come on, bro.
All right, next up. You got your start doing background vocals on a Bob Marley tribute album. Brim or Cap?
It's Cap.
Wouldn't it be crazy?
Yo. If I did backgrounds on the Bob, first things first, I would have been in here like, all right. God bless, you know. But yeah, I mean, I would love to work with a Marley though. Like, let's also put that in the world.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, I would love to work with a Marley. YG Marley is dope. Skip is great. You know what I'm saying? Just like their whole lineage. Yes. You can see the energy that travels through that lineage.
Exactly.
Man, so.
And I was saying all of that to say that I need it to happen.
Yo,
I'm
100%.
manifesting it to happen because the synergy
would be crazy. Yo, look at Damien and Nas when they did that.
Exactly.
Bro.
That's exactly where my brain went.
On, yeah. And all you know I'm Jamaican? I'm Jamaican and Japanese, bro.
Well, Marlies, it's a family affair.
Yeah,
Come on.
And my locks is sturdy now, so you know I'm part of it. I got the image, so let's make it happen.
Call him up, okay?
You feel me?
All right, next up, your debut project was named after your grandmother's house number, Brim or Cap?
My debut project was named after that. That's Cap, but she the picture of the cover art is my grandmother's crib. Yo, that's crazy that you know that. Yo,
I'm tapped in.
Yo, I recorded 1,000 pictures in the 3rd floor of my grandmother's crib. Shout out Larry, shout out Nug, shout out Brian. These were my homies that was with me almost every day while I was making that project. And when I decided that I wanted to make the cover art, I was like, yo, I want to go cartoon with it, but I want to take my crib and put it on the moon. Like, I'm out of this world. Like, you know, like where we're going is somewhere that no one has ever been. So, dang, yo, you really did your research. That's crazy.
You know.
Yeah, shout out 6 Block.
All right, next up. You once freestyle battled Kai Cash for who paid for dinner on tour, Brim or Cap?
Ooh, did I freestyle Kai for who paid for dinner on tour? Nah, that's Cap. But that sounds real. Like, that made me think, like, wait, hold on. Did I do that with Kai?
I had to keep you on your toes. I had to keep you on your toes.
Hey, yo, Kai, next time, bro, we might have to battle for who's paying for dinner, bro. Because that sounds like something me and him would do, bro.
I'm just saying. All right, 2 more.
Uh-huh.
You performed at Lincoln Center with Rap and Rakim. Is that true? Is that Brim or Cap?
That's Brim.
How crazy
is Brim
is that?
Yo, with Rakim, bro, Rakim was like my dad's favorite rapper.
Wow. So it's crazy full circle. So
it was a crazy full circle moment. Yo, what was so ill was I was driving upstate on the way to a wedding.
Wow.
And Rap was like, yo, do you want to come out to perform with me with Rakim?
How do you say no to that? Like, what other option do you have but to get up?
I'm not even going to lie, bro. And it's like, I'm thankful for everybody who was involved understanding. We had to get off the next exit.
Okay.
And I called the Uber back down, bro. I'm back in the hood. Let's do it. You feel me? And it was legendary just to even share space with him, to be at Lincoln. You know, it was like, come on, bro. Like, and he's such a humble dude, man.
Wow.
Like, for everything he's done in hip hop, like, bro is just so, his swag is like, it's like eternal.
Like, I love when people are the same that you want them to be.
Yeah.
That they are in person.
Because they ain't always like that.
Because it ain't always.
But my boy Rakim, legend.
Okay, now I really want to meet you, friend. I really want to meet you because I wanted to meet you before, but now I really need to meet you.
Yeah.
And then last one, we kind of already talked about this, so they should know if it's Brim or Cat. You went to college. We went to college together, and you studied marine biology.
Woo! You said I study marine biology. Well, that's Cap. The marine biology part is most definitely Cap. Now, but you want to know? I'm gonna say it's Brim because I'm wavy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you wavy how I am, the marine biology just comes with it.
I know, that's right.
Yo, but we definitely were in college together. I was there for a semester. I spent my second semester on campus, but I ended up not having enough credits.
Right.
And it was like you had to go to summer school. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to summer school. Yeah, I'm back in Mount Vernon, bro. Y'all got me twisted.
Right, coming from Mount Vernon all the way there.
I'm like, I'm good. But we definitely were. Your energy was just as vibrant then as it is now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that we connected. I
love it. It's always full circle when I get to be with my peoples for real with
100%.
this.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, man, sadly we getting to the end. But you know I can't do nothing without asking a few more questions.
Come on, let's go. Brim or Cap is legendary.
Thank you. You know, I try. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of manifestation as well because I always like to end my stuff off with thinking ahead. So if you could have a 3-track EP with any 2 artists, dead or alive, who's on that track list with you?
Bob Marley and Tupac.
I know that's right. Why?
I'm going with Bob because Bob is just he is too legendary. He's influential. Like I'm not even gonna lie, he's almost like prophet level, you know what I'm saying? And what he means also to my heritage specifically is just legendary. I love his music. I listen to Catch a Fire, that album, I listen to it like religiously. So that's just my own personal Pac, because I'm gonna be real, growing up I wasn't really a Pac fan at all. I think it also had to do with the East versus West.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even my family with such close ties to that whole situation, I was like, nah, I wasn't rocking with Pac. As I got older, I realized like the glory and the greatness that Pac has, right? Like his poetry and his poetic way of expressing himself, like, is bigger than just hip hop. You know, like he touches the whole world. And I'm like, yo, if it was Bob, Pac, and Neek, oh my God, y'all
taking over the world.
We taking over the world. Three songs.
Y'all might be in the galaxies. I'm not gonna lie to you. The aliens might be tapped in.
Yo, in an alternate timeline, that's happening right now.
Okay.
For sure.
We really in like Loki real quick.
Yo.
Like you probably have a whole alternate right now.
I'm telling you, he's out here doing his thing.
All right, so we obviously need to talk about Dreamville real quick, but because of the fact that you were the first person to step on that stage, I know that's right, 100%. And you commanded that stage. When I saw those people running to come and see you and Kai, that's when I knew my brother just made it.
Yo,
that was the moment.
Yo, that was tripping us out. Like, while we were performing, like, yo, we started off with however many 100 people, then for it to go to 1,000 people. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, they just came in and drove.
And they were loving you. I was in the crowd. They were so excited for y'all's energy. And just watching that from my vantage point was so beautiful. I was hearing people singing, rapping the songs back, or I literally heard some girl ask, "What's their Instagram?" I was,
wow.
Here we go.
Shout out to you too for plugging it. For
always.
Yeah.
But if Brimfest were a thing, who's your headliners and who's your openers?
I'm the headliner.
Duh, that's a given. But who else is coming up before you?
Okay, so who's coming up before me? At my festival, of course, so I'm gonna have multiple days headlining, right? So we're gonna do Weekend Raps headlining another day. And then I will probably have, I would want Kendrick. I want Kendrick to headline like the third day. So we got 3 headliners, me, rapping, Kendrick.
That's a crazy headlining situation right there.
That is crazy, right? I would want JID on the lineup.
Jitty Jid, my hubby. He don't know it yet.
Yeah, but he's ill, and his show is amazing.
Every single time, no matter what stage he's on.
Yeah, he goes crazy. I want Glorilla.
Yes.
I want Tribe, even though rest in peace Fife, but like it would go for them to probably do a tribute or something like that. I want Lauryn Hill. On time. You know,
I know that's right.
Yo, I want Outkast.
Oh, bringing back Outkast would be stupid.
That would be crazy. I want Outkast. I want YG. I want Dom Kennedy.
Yes.
I want G Herbo. I want Kodak Black. My lineup is kind of crazy.
I do have a request.
Who?
I need you to bring Larry June.
Ooh, hey. Yo, I want Alchemist on my lineup.
Y'all have to work together.
Yo, bro. So when I was on tour with rap, we did one of the dates that we had was a festival in London, and we got to meet Al.
Wow.
And we were just talking about like, I would love to get in the studio with him and play him the music and see what we could cook up from there. So you even saying that is just an affirmation.
It has to happen.
That has to happen. But yeah, those are some of the people I'm thinking of off the top of my head for my lineup.
I love it.
Yeah, I think my lineup is kind of crazy. I want Cash Cobain on my lineup too.
Cash Cobain was go stupid. He bringing everybody.
What? Cash is bringing the energy. He's bringing the vibes. I need that.
Yeah, honestly, this festival need to happen now, friend.
Yo, yeah, Brimfest. Yo, and if we did it too, I probably would do it like somewhere like not too far upstate, but upstate New York, where we could have some space. Like, I love how Dreamville did the park.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? I'm taking that. And we're going upstate New York, maybe an hour out from the city.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a real weekend. Brimfest.
Okay. Let me do the red carpet.
You get what I'm saying? Absolutely. Yeah. With media by yours truly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then final question for you, and you can take as much time as you need to do this one.
Okay.
I know that legacy is a huge thing for you.
Yes.
What does that mean for you? And what do you hope people say about Niko Brim 20 years from now?
Ooh, man. Legacy. Man, that's so funny. I just had I just wrote something talking about legacy. So I would say legacy, what it means to me is everything. You know, excuse me. It's the physical imprint of your life. You know what I'm saying? To see people act in your likeness and image, you know, or to be inspired to live in their likeness and image because of how truthful you were with who you are.
Exactly.
So that's what legacy means to me. And I would want 20 years from now for people to say that, yo, at a time where the world was pushing people to be a specific type of way, this man encouraged people to be exactly who they are. That in a time where understanding yourself and knowing yourself seemed like a wish upon a star, this man put it in his music and delivered it for us to listen to and be inspired by. That's what I would want my legacy to be.
Well, you're already doing it, friend.
Thank you, my sister.
You don't need to wait 20 years.
No,
you're doing it right now. That's beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Wow. Shout yourself out. Niko Brim.
Man.
What's the socials, friend? They need to follow you right now.
It's Niko Brim, Niko Brim on all social streaming platforms. TikTok is Niko_Brim. Hughes is out now. Please Don't Cry with Rhapsody is out now. Niko's interlude is on there. And 1153 is a project that is out now also with me and Kai Cash. So, you know, if you got to see us at Dreamville, if you may have heard Dreamville, or if you've seen either one of us, our collab project is also fire, and I need y'all to tune into those 3 projects.
And we ready for the debut. Whenever you're ready,
I'm
ready for it.
You want to know too? I'm not even gonna lie, like. And maybe as time goes on, we'll figure it out. But Hughes kind of also feels like the debut. Hughes reminds me of
I feel like it was.
Hughes to me is kind of like what Section 80 was to Kendrick, or like, you know, what Friday Night Lights was to Cole. Like,
I like that.
Like that definitely was my first step.
Yes.
But I think this next one is there's a different level of resources that I have now that I think is going to shine in the music when you hear it.
I'm excited. You know, I'm ready to press play.
Come on, let's do it. Yes.
Thank you so much, friend.
I appreciate you, my sister.